Morning, everyone. Josh here, Solopreneur Grind, episode 79 of the SG Daily. Hope the week is going well. Top of mind today, really this week has to do with alignment and expectations of yourself and your business. I think that when you're talking about business, especially more specifically when you're starting or growing your own business, your professional life transcends just your professional life if you're starting or growing a business, right? So if you have a job, let's just call it a 9 to 5, it's very easy to separate your professional and your personal life, right? You leave the office, you go home, your contract says 9 to 5, you leave the office, you may or may not have to check email, et cetera, et cetera. When you're starting or growing your own business, your business is a big part of your life, right? There is no weekend per se, vacation per se, you take it whenever you want. And everything's just a little more aligned, right? Like I said, I think that it transcends just your professional life. And so when thinking through the times where I was in a, let's just call it a good place and a bad place with my business, it comes down to really just a few things. One of which is what I'm working on in my business and on my business in alignment with what I want to be doing personally. And what I mean by that is if you can have a successful business, successful financial business, but if it's not aligned with what you want to be doing or what you want to be working on, you can still find yourself bored, not motivated, lonely, insert negative adjective here. So how do we put it all together, right? And what I've realized in the last week or two, as things have come together nicely for me in the last month or so, just in terms of what I'm working on and how I'm motivated by it, is you really need to ask yourself and have like an honest conversation with yourself, maybe not out loud, probably in your head or maybe on paper in the form of journaling or while you're meditating, of what is it you really want to do, right? And we've heard of the wishy-washy stuff and the exercises and what does a perfect day look like 5 years from now. But I actually think that's pretty important. You don't necessarily have to sit down and write what a perfect day looks like 5 years from now. I do recommend you do it because it will help. But even just in the last month and a half, what I've thought is not necessarily what would the perfect day look like, but because that's very hard to imagine, especially if you're starting out and you don't have a business. But what are the types of activities that you want to be doing, right? Because let's say you don't have a business at all. It could be great to say, oh, I want to run the biggest clothing whatever in the world, or, oh, I want to, grow an accounting software company. But along the way, it doesn't matter what you start, you're going to have some pivoting, some shifting, some moving in and out of things. So I don't think actually like every detail of the day is so important as what types of things do you actually want to do? And then you can extrapolate from that some options and first steps to take. So for example, if you really just love writing code, let's just say you're a developer, engineer, whatever, you really just love sitting down in front of your computer for like 8 hours at a time and solving deep tech issues and building software and technology to solve them. You probably don't want to start your own business because there's a whole other bunch of shit, that you're going to have to do on top of that to keep it going, right? Getting clients, sales, marketing, website, all that other stuff. And then even if you do want to start your own business, do you want to be communicating with clients a lot? Do you like doing client work? Do you not? Do you like doing sales? Do you not? Do you like going to meetings? Do you like managing people? Do you like even personal things like traveling? Do you like, let's go down the influencer road. Do you like taking selfies, right? Because a lot of people, it's very in now to be like an influencer. Oh, I'm just going to start posting on Instagram and whatever it be for your workouts or food or clothing, anything. But if at your core, you don't actually like kind of putting yourself out there, taking pictures of yourself, all that stuff, as good as the business model might sound, you're probably not going to be too happy after doing it for months and months, especially if you do it for months and months and it's hard and you're not getting high levels of success. So really ask yourself, what is it I want to be doing? Or what makes me super fulfilled already, right? So as someone who's, definitely earlier on in their professional career, like I haven't tried a whole lot of things in the workplace, but what I do know is I like talking business strategy. I like managing people. I like building products. I like a fast-paced environment, things like that. And so based on all of these realizations, which you don't have to come up with in 20 minutes, right? You should probably take a week or two to really dig deep and find them. But once you have a picture of that, then you can look at the options or what you're already working on and prioritize them, right? So for example, I have my firm, my practice. The way it's going right now and knowing law firms, it doesn't really align with a lot of those things I just mentioned, right? Law in general typically is not super fast paced, especially if it relies on the government. So that's just one X, right? So what's a related or non-related project or business or something that can check off those boxes for me, right? So what I would say is, if you're looking to start some type of business or you're growing and things feel, let's call them out of whack, take a step back and ask yourself, what are the things you love doing? And that doesn't mean that if you're not doing them now, you should scrap your business, right? Maybe you find a partner to do the things that you don't like doing. Maybe you just hire someone. Or maybe you start a subsidiary business or semi-related business or totally unrelated business because in the long run it'll be more in line with your with the things that you like doing, with your kind of expectations of what you would want your perfect day to look like. So anyways, a little more abstract thinking, little bit less objective, 5 key steps to this, but I don't often put out that type of stuff anyways. Hope this makes sense. If you like the video you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like and subscribe. Helps a lot for the channel. If you're listening on the podcast, make sure you're subscribed there as well. And I will chat with you on Friday.